So we get a labor security card, we get some books, or we get some injectors. The security card is really the only thing super interesting. The injectors that they're giving us are not super great. Skulk injectors are nice, but I tend not to use injectors anyways. So I'm thinking about the books for some EXP. They're not going to give very much. We've got a very interesting first book in the title there. Yeah, these quest rewards can be kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you can get some good stuff. Sometimes you just don't get very much. So I decide on the books, get some EXP when I get to the stilt, and I get my snake oiler. So off we go. Hopefully we'll make it this time. We do have a compass bracelet now, so that's helping us out. And we get all the way up to it and we get lost. But honestly, not too bad. We're almost there. We're starting to feel a little bit strong with the electro bow in tow and our good friend helping us out. We're pretty strong, although they have just dived in the back, which is dangerous. I need to be really careful not to hit this Equimax, or else I will just get totally dumpstered. These things are super dangerous. Right, so we try to minimize the time that we spend on the salt dunes. Here I go ahead and explore around in the salt dunes to try and see if there's anything dangerous. I want to have the tiles explored for if I do get lost on those like 2 tiles that I'm coming to the stilt. I'm not dropped somewhere where I'll just like instantly die. That would be unfortunate. So here we see some pariahs, which is really useful. They unfortunately are disliked by the Naphtali tribe. We had positive rep with them before, which is nice for getting robots on your side. But I want trash divining, so I decide, screw it. Let's be friends. So we see the tortoise here. We cannot kill them. We are just not strong enough. We do not have the penetration for that. Too armored, so gotta run away. And then we see the tongue gliders. So this is exactly why I wanted to have those tiles explored so I can get away. Those dawn gliders will literally just one-shot us. We're so weak. Clearing out the Fractus, just because it's a super inconvenient spot. And we need to share some secrets, including the secret of the statue right behind the guy, in case he wasn't aware. Yeah, there you go. There's your secret of your statue that you have behind you. Daughters of Exile are the Tinkerers in Ezra. So I don't want to make them mad. I said not to water ritual. Warden's Ether is important to get because she teaches shield. Free shield skill, so hell yeah, sign me up. So make sure you have your Warden's rep. Decided not to water ritual the Cannabis. We're just gonna move on. See what these shopkeepers have. So as I'm going through the shops, I'm looking for a few things. The Ichor merchant is more just curiosity and seeing any painted items. You can look at the painted items without having to buy them, so you can just, get the Sultan history without having to make any purchases. But I'm looking for drops of nectar from kippers and chefs in order to increase my stats. Drops of nectar are super rare, but I mean, you gotta take every shot in the dark that you can in order to get your stats up. I'm also interested in the electric snail shell, just because it will give me mollusk rep, which once again is good for slog at the bottom of Golgotha. So I'm definitely considering it here. Now, this is the first time that I've really used this strategy of not fighting slog. So I'm not sure exactly how much mollusk rep I need. In reality, one slime or one snail encrusted item is good enough. If you've gotten a little bit of mollusk rep, then the shell is also good enough. The helm is good enough on its own. But I have plenty of mollusk rep for slog. So these hookah bars can sometimes spawn in some merchants. And ooh, we get a big find here. This is actually insanely rare to find from a Dromad trader, a Schrodinger page. Usually only find these on the scribes, which is why you always want to check the scribe. That's the other thing that I check for in the stilt is the Schrodinger page. Now, this thing is super expensive. I am willing to spend essentially everything that I have just to get this Schrodinger page. It is that useful. Reputation is unbelievably important in the late game to staying alive. There's so many awful enemies that will just rip you to shreds. And if you have rep with them, they just ignore you. So, super, super, super important to get this rep, or get this Schrodinger page. There's no way. I'm too close. I'm definitely selling everything I got. Now, you want to get at least one Schrodinger page and hold on to it, because it's much easier to get metamorphic polygel than it is to find Schrodinger pages. So you tend to get one Schrodinger page and then polygel it a whole bunch of times to get the rep in the factions that you want. So you definitely want rep in insects. Insects is probably one of my biggest factions to get rep for, alongside Seekers of the Sightless Way, just because those guys are just unbelievably dangerous, especially on this character, because my mental armor is, it's 2. I will easily get one shot by so many Seekers. So Seeker rep is super important, especially in this run. I'm checking in here. I should not be using it now, but maybe this is before I think of holding on for it to polygel it later. Or I'm just checking my mollusk rep. to see how much more I need. So mollusks are neutral to me with this snail enclustered ring male. But I'm at this point, I should also now be thinking about the Cloak of Surprise. I think that's why I decided to get so much mollusk rep. But the Cloak of Surprise gives you a mutation, the bilge sphincter, and it turns you into a type of slog. It gives you a whole bunch of strength, and that's the main reason to use it. You have no strength in this run, so it's a really good mutation to get. The only problem is that it removes a whole bunch of your item slots, and we got 2 dromads in here. This is pretty insane luck. So the only problem with the Cloak of Surprise is that it removes your arm slots, and it removes your feet slots. And a disaster has struck, because we've got a brood mother. So these little snails do not share the rep of the brood mother. Instead, they are always mollusks, and they are always assholes. These things are dangerous. Luckily, I'm neutral to mollusks right now, so they won't attack me. Yeah, this... Luckily, it happened on a screen where I don't care about the merchants as much. But, yeah, the broodmother is a very annoying thing to have here. Especially because I cannot easily kill it. They're very, very hard to kill. Especially for a character my level. So on the bright side, they're not aggro to me, but on the downside, they're killing all the merchants. And the broodmother has gone off screen, spreading chaos and mayhem to the other zones of the stilt. I do get some good weapons from this, which is pretty nice. I get some water to replace all the stuff that I just sold to get the Schrodinger page. Got a shitload of water from all the Arcanauts that have been killed. Arcanauts and merchants. Need to offload some of that. My inventory is just so bad. Even with 2 spheres of negative weight, I still have less inventory space than most normal players by this point. Inventory is a constant problem for this run. So I don't want to give my follower the chainmail because I'm pretty certain that he'll equip it, and she will equip it. And I don't want that because I want to wear it, and we can see that the chaos has spread to this zone as well. So I want to equip that chainmail eventually, so don't want the follower to, because I cannot get her to easily unequip it. Now luckily the people in this zone can handle themselves. An ogre ape is more than a match for the little hatchlings. I always love how all out these guys go against a couple little hatchlings. He just blew everyone up for that. Pull out, no stops. Full force on every enemy. So the bookbinders, the scribes, they are really only good for one thing, and that's Schrodinger pages. I don't think I've ever bought books from these guys unless I just had more money than I knew what to do with. We saw some neutron flux in there. That is a very dangerous item. I will not purchase it unless I have precognition. It's just a 25% chance to lose your run in a bottle. That's it. You get a chance of permanently increasing your AV, which is nuts. That's absolutely insane. Super useful, but you also have the chance of just dying a horrible death. So will not buy it. Will not even look at it unless I have precognition. It's not like I could afford it anyways. So here I notice that the broodmother has come to the main page, the front of the stilt, and is causing a whole lot of chaos, but I've actually seen it for the first time now. So that means that I can attack it. But, well, as we're about to see, this thing is super dangerous. The really unfortunate thing is that it triggers the bone worm into combat, and when that happens, they start spewing their bone shit everywhere, which is super annoying. Yeah, the front of my stealth is just a mess. The tinkerer has been obliterated, and I'm just stealing his stuff for when I do get some tinkering skills, because I'm hoping that I will eventually. But it seems these protectors are actually doing their job of protecting pretty well here. Although all hell has brought loose at the front of the stilt. So we still have not caught the culprit, because the snail mother is friendly to everyone, just the offspring are not. So I don't want to make everyone my enemy by attacking, and you can see in one shot it has already seriously injured me. The cloneling I don't care about. I just didn't want it to clone the brood mother, because if it did that, that would have been just totally awful. My clones are less dangerous than Snapjaws. I have no worries whatsoever about them. So we were somehow able to kill her pretty easily, which is handy that I had the electro bow and was able to do the right damage. Also pretty freaking lucky that I didn't nail the warden or anyone else, because that would have been a surefire way to die. Unfortunately, our man on the side there got dumpstered by the snails, so we won't be able to turn in any Reshef secrets for this run. But my God, the front of the stilt is an absolute mess. So this is where I spend way too much time cleaning it up. Now, the worm starts crawling again, which is a problem, because I had just cleaned up all this shit, and now it's sprouting more bones. Some Gotta get rid of that. It's at this point that I see that he's locked inside. He's locked himself inside there. So I can more or less take my time cleaning up everything out here. Because he's not going anywhere. He is stuck. So at this point, I decide that I have had enough of the cleaning and am going to leave that for next time. So we will leave this video for next time. Tune in next time to see more interesting stories of Sigamu-Wur. See how far they get. Catch you later.